Well, I thought I'd do another story time today. This is my car. PT Cruiser. My house. Ugh. I can't see how this looks. Anyways, we got some Halloween decorations. So I'm going to do a story time. I'm going to tell you about when I almost drowned. My dad saved me. We were living in California, and we came to Georgia to visit my grandmother. And so we all decided to go to the lake. And my cousins came, and my aunts, and we had a picnic, And while the adults were sitting at the picnic table, me and my cousins, let's see, one cousin was 3 years older than me and the other was 6 years older than me, so I was the youngest, and I was about 3 or 4 years old. I was very small. Well, I was big for my age, but I was very young. And I think probably the eldest cousin, who was a male, decided to lay down on the beach, and the waves would come up, but they wouldn't cover his head. It would just kind of splash up on his body, and he thought that was kind of I guess daring or fun. I'm not sure. And my female cousin was also doing this, and they're like, oh, come on and do it. And so I did it too. And when the adults called us to come have our picnic, I was continuing to do this, and I didn't really notice that my cousins left because I wasn't really paying attention, I guess. And I just wanted to do this laying down thing just a little bit longer, and my cousins left, and the next thing I know, a wave washes over me and pulls me out towards the deeper part. And so then I was basically underwater. I remember floating there with my eyes open, and I could see the water above me. I didn't know how to swim. I couldn't cry out for help because I was underwater. I didn't know what to do, but I was kind of floating there underwater, and I could, I remember opening my eyes, and there was light, and feeling panic because I didn't know. I couldn't sit up. I wanted to sit up because when I started out, I'd been sitting on the beach, and I was. Then the next thing that I know is my dad's hands reaching down into the water and picking me up, and then I could breathe again. So if they hadn't paid attention, if they had thought that if they hadn't realized that I was not there or whatever, if they hadn't come to check on me, I probably would well, I probably would have drowned. And now the story does not end there, because now I'm going to tell you basically a second story, but it's kind of related because it's about the water and what has happened to me in my life in relation to water. I think it gave my parents a scare because I almost drowned, so they wanted to enroll me in swimming lessons. So they did, and when I was, they enrolled me in swimming lessons, but it wasn't proper swimming lessons because of my age, so young. It turned out to just be kind of like a playtime. And so they weren't really happy about that. You know, I enjoyed the playtime. And, you know, they taught us things like floating and that sort of thing. And, hello, doggy. So, then they enrolled me in another swimming class, and that one was more the same. It was floating and not really teaching me how to swim. And finally, on about the third attempt, they got me in a real swimming lesson, and I began to learn how to swim. However, I was scared of the water. I was scared of drowning, and I would cry every time that I had to go to my swimming lesson. And because I was just absolutely terrified that I was going to drown. I was so scared of the water and everything. And so my mother bribed me. She says, if you don't cry, then I'll buy you a doll. You know, if you don't cry at your swimming lesson. So I wanted the doll really badly. So I managed to not to cry so that I would get the doll. And so, you know, I was learning to swim finally, but I was still afraid of the water. And and this next part, I'm not sure if it happened before the bribing with the doll or after, but anyways, I was crying. So it probably happened before the doll thing. And I was crying, so my dad had come to pick me up. Usually it was my mother that came to pick me up or take me, because she probably didn't leave, you know. So my dad came to get me after the swimming lesson. And I was crying. And I wanted to be comforted. And my dad picked me up. I thought he was going to comfort me. You know, at this point I'm probably 4 years old. And I might have been 5. Yeah, not sure exactly. And he picks me up, and I thought he's going to comfort me. I'm like hugging him and holding on to him. I'm glad of the comfort. And he's walking along the side of the pool. In the pool, you had the deep end, and I remember to this day, the deepest end was 10 feet. And then the shallowest was, you know, about 3 feet. And So as we get to the area that's the 10 feet, which we have to pass to go to the exit, the next thing I know, he's throwing me into the 10-foot deep water. Just threw me in there. And fortunately, or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, I managed to grasp, as I went down, I managed to grasp the side of the pool with my hands. So I was at the edge of the pool, and I pulled myself up out of the pool, out of the water, and I was even more traumatized and upset than I'd been before he threw me in there. And he picks me up again and again. In my naivete, I think he's going to comfort me, and I want to be comforted, and I'm bawling like crazy, and I hug him, and I want to cling to him, and I want to be comforted, because I'm feeling very traumatized, with tears and snot running down my face. And what does he do? He throws me in the pool again. The 10 feet deep swimming pool. And this time I didn't catch the edge. This time he made sure that he threw me far enough out that I would not be able to catch the edge. And I went down into the water. And of course this was very scary and traumatizing for me. And but I got out of the pool, and I don't remember, but I don't think that I wanted to be held by him after that, because he might throw me back in again, right? Although, since he was a big, strong man, he could have just picked me up at any point and thrown me in again. But, and of course, this was it was the 60s. And nobody said or did anything. If that happened today, it would probably be considered child abuse, and it would have been reported or something. Being the 60s, it was probably 68 or 69. Yeah. So, but after that I wasn't afraid of the water. So that is the good that came of it. Because I realized then that even if I was thrown into the water, that I could swim up and out. And so yeah, that's my story about swimming. So hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe.